Hello, Professor. My name is Sukhvir, and today I'm gonna be presenting my Indigenous land assignment. So let's dive on it, shall we? So, before we start the assignment, I respectfully acknowledge that KPU campuses are located on traditional and ancestral territories of the Musqueam, Tuasan, and Quidlam First Nations. Now, the first place I want to talk about is a city called Hoshiarpur. As you can see on the map, the red shaded area, yes, that's called Hoshiarpur, which is located in the north part of the Punjab. And on the right side, you see a picture of a clock tower. Well, this is basically a very one of the most famous what we say monument of my city, Hoshiarpur. So there are a number of reasons why I chose this city. So let's dive in on our first reason. So the first reason I chose this city was basically because this is the place where I was born, where I grew up, and where I spent most of my beautiful times in my life. And I also have a whole circle of my friends, relatives, and neighbors in this city. So the you maybe wonder why the city is named Hoshiarpur. Well, I'll tell you why. The first of all, the biggest reason people do believe that this city got its name from a person called Hoshiar Khan. He was a chieftain of Bajwara who lived here in the 14th century. So that's how this place is named after him. So the next slide is the ancient and mythological roots, and that's the second reason why I chose this city. So you may have known about the Indus Valley era. Indus Valley, yeah, those was one of the oldest civilization that lived on the earth. They lived actually about 2500 BC, or maybe even more earlier. So the second reason was that there are places which is located near to Visharpur. So the archaeologists find the evidence of Indus Valley era habitation at my city. The tools and ancient sculptures have been discovered at near places at Atbarpur, Rahmanpur, Dakhni, and Dolbaha. So moving further, so the mythology links this my city area, Visharpur area, to Mahabharata, and I believe I think you may have known about the word Mahabharata, which is also called Ramayana. So when the Pandavas were on their exile period, they spent some of their time in this city. So the Birgu Samhita, according to local legend, and also when I was a kid, my grandmother used to tell me this story. According to the local legend, the Birgu Samhita was the was the old astrological manuscripts that are supposed to document each person's past, present, and future. And the third reason is the notable personalities. Well, there are lots of people who are well-known scholars, freedom fighters, and artists who belong to this city. But the sum of people I want to talk about. The first one is a Gyani Jail Singh. You you see the picture at the bottom of the right side. Yes, he was the seventh president of India, and he's among one of those people who really helped India to become a really beautiful place. The second one is a Jagjit Singh at the upper right corner. He's a legendary ghazal singer. Oh my god, there are like so many people who loves this guy. Well, basically, he was born in Pakistan, but when he was about 7 years old, so then he moved to the city of Hoshiarpur, and where he spent his where he spent about his whole life there. Yeah, and then third one is Lala Lajpat Rai at the left side, upper left side. Yes, he was a freedom fighter and a lawyer who basically study in our government college, which is called a government college of Hoshiarpur. Yes, and on his monument, the city of Hoshiarpur uh, made a school to honor him. And the last one is Dr. Manmohan Singh, the bottom of the left side. Yes, that's the picture of Dr. Manmohan Singh. He was the 70th Prime Minister of India who studied in our college, which was Government College of India. And last reason is religious places. I mean, when I was making this slide, I was so worried what to include and what to know, because there are like so many thousands of religious places in my home city of Hoshiarpur. But I want to talk about one of the first religious places called the Gurdwara Hariyan Bela, which is located in Hoshiarpur. This is a historical place where Guru Har Rai Ji, the seventh Sikh Guru, who stayed with his wife and 2200 horsemen warriors for about 3 days. And the second one is Baba Jwar Das Ji. You can see on the right side. Yes. Well, basically, the story of Baba Jwar Das Ji is that he spent most of his life helping people, and also people believed him to be a god personalities. And in every year on 12th, 13th and 14th May, in the memory of Baba Jwar Das Ji, people of the Susan, which is a village name, they celebrate Susan the Mela in basically to honor him. So like this is one of the biggest Mela celebrated in Punjab, and Punjab is really big. And okay, so the next place I want to talk about is called Tofino. This is the place where I really want to visit. Well, basically, Tofino is a small town on the west coast of Vancouver Island. It is famous for beautiful beaches and old forest and amazing nature. So now the Glaucon is a part of a larger group which is called the Nuchanu Nation, and I'm so sorry if I pronounce it right. They have lived along the coast of Vancouver Island for about thousands of years. They basically manage the land through tribal parks, which follow their traditional laws. They also work to protect the environment and their culture. So now this Fino is a unceded territory, and I'll tell you what is the word mean unceded. Well, it is basically mean the when land is unceded, it means indigenous people never gave up ownership of it. The government does not official on this land because actually no treaty or agreement was made to transfer it. Well, and the unceded territory uh, remind us to respect indigenous history and governance. And also, visitors should learn about this and they should act respectfully. So now let's talk about more about the Clarkwood tribal parks. These parks include beautiful places like Mears Island, Kennedy Lake, and I just love so much Kennedy Lake, and many others. The tribal parks are special because they are protected using indigenous knowledge and community leadership. The people who live there want to keep the land healthy for future generation. Tribal parks follow indigenous laws and they also protect nature. And there is also a program called the Tribal Park Allies, which helps visitors understand how to enjoy the parks responsibly so that they don't offend any culture, or basically it helps them to protect nature and respect the culture. Okay, so the last slide is the indigenous organizations in Tofino. Finally, I want to mention some important indigenous organization in the area. The Clayoquot First Nation has a government that helps provide services for the community. These include healthcare, education, and cultural programs. The nearby Gulliard First Nation, sorry if I pronounced it wrong, also supports their community. Both groups work together through the Nut Tribal Council. So the Tribal Council helps many indigenous nations in the region to protect their rights and improve life for their people. They also encourage visitors to come with respect and learn from their traditions. Uh, so that's the reference slide. And also, I just want to quickly add that. So, in conclusion, Tofino is more than a beautiful travel spot. It is a place full of history, culture, and living and indigenous traditions. I want to visit Tofino to enjoy its natural beauty, but also to learn from the Clayoquot First Nation and understand how their connection to the land shaped their lives. So, thank you very much for listening. That was my indigenous land assignment. So, at last, I just want to say thank you.